If there's one thing that bugs all Rover owners that isn't dodgy K-Series head gaskets, it's drooping headliners. Now, unfortunately, most Rovers do it, and this Streetwise is no different. Now, look, I could whip the whole roof panel out, stick new fabric on, and everything like that, but it could be quite time-intensive and rather costly. So, you know me, I love a bodge. Let's see how far we get with some €3 adhesive spray. From reading online, I've been told that rubbing alcohol and all that kind of stuff will get rid of this residue, but of course, I never come prepared. So I've got some WD-40, and I'm hoping that if I spray enough of this on, it'll just, I don't know, absorb it all and you'll be able to wipe it off. Let's give that a crack anyway. I really don't think you want to be breathing this stuff in, but I've given it a bit of a covering of WD-40. It doesn't help that my WD-40 is about 10 years old and the nozzle's all gunked up, so you only get like a little jet spray instead of a wide-angle spray, if you like. It was still actually pretty well stuck on here. There's plenty of glue there, but I mean, there's no point keeping it stuck on. I think what I'm going to do is just remove sections of it and then maybe see if I can just glue it together in different areas instead of having to do the whole thing. Progress update. And it's not going too bad with the aid of my big brush. As you can see, lots of the old glue starting to flake off. What I'll do is I get my vacuum cleaner in here and suck all of that out. But up here, we're not looking too bad, really. So I think what I'll do is I'll hoover all that out, try and clean it up as best I can, and then maybe just do a bit of a test adhesive spray and see how well that holds. Our first test section of the spray-on adhesive looks to be sticking okay. It stained the headlining quite badly, but as long as that sticks, I can always clean that out. And as you can see here, I've gotten as much of the old glue out as possible. It doesn't look like the best job in the world, and it's not. I mean, I'll openly admit that. But it doesn't have to be, because it's a bodge job. It just needs to be stuck up in a few places so that it doesn't droop on everybody's heads while they're in the car. Here I am then in the Streetwise 24 hours after we began gluing, and it looks, I say looks, to be sticking. Although, let's face it, it's not the prettiest job ever, is it? It kind of looks as if somebody has vomited upwards onto it. It's sticking, but it looks horrendous, which isn't ideal, but it might be the only option that we have. I'm not brave enough yet to try and deep clean that with some carpet solution or some upholstery solution and my wet and dry vac, mainly because I think it's just going to fall down again. Might be the only option we have, really, so I think what I'm going to do is, well, glue the rest of it here. It's ready for glue. It's all dry and clean under there. Well, yeah, clean as it'll be. So anyway, let's get cracking on that and see what happens. Yesterday afternoon, I re-glued this section of the head lining, and you know what, it's not come out too bad. I've still obviously got to deep clean the head lining, which means that it'll probably fall off all the glue that I've stuck it back onto, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Doesn't look too bad on that side, does it? I did do it on this side though, and really, I mean, I did this side first and overdid it hugely with the glue. We've still got bits of black, horrible dirtiness in there, but you can see all the glue residue here and here. So that hasn't gone all that well, really, but it is still up. It is still defying gravity, and that's sort of the most important thing with the head lining, really. I've got, though, some double-sided sticky tape. This has been sitting around the house for quite a while, so I had a bit of a brainwave last night. I thought, why don't I just use that? Surely that'll work. It's quite tricky stuff to deal with, double-sided sticky tape here. And the bottom is, honestly, the most adhesive substance known to man, but trying to remove it, different story altogether. Flipping heck. And then as well, trying not to get fingerprints all over it. Quite difficult. Oh, it's impossible. There we go. Right, and it then rolls up, obviously, and does that, doesn't it? That's annoying. Right, let's go again. We've got a load of it, so we're not going to be short of it. This is promising. This is promising. Let's put that under there for now. No, there's just nothing. Just doesn't want to stick. because it's still sort of greasy from WD-40. I'm not really sure how to rectify that. I've tried mopping it up with an old... No, maybe double-sided sticky tape is not the answer that I thought it would be. The time has come to clean the headlining, and I really wish I'd done this before I decided to glue it back into place, because one, it'll probably fall down when I attack it with this carpet and upholstery solution, and two, it looks flipping horrible with all the dry glue all over it. So I really wish I'd engaged my brain before I decided to do this, but I'm going to try it in a very, very small patch. I didn't bother sticking up here, but I'm just going to try it up there and see if that gets rid of any of the staining. And perhaps the smell, because there's still a bit of a damp smell when you get into the car. Streetwise is running like a dream, as is my headline fixing. Look, it isn't the smartest job I've ever done on anything. It's quite horrible in places, let's face it. In fact, I'm a little bit embarrassed, to be honest, showing you that. Doesn't look great, does it? A lot of staining from when the car was sat around with a lot of moisture in it. And, you know, this is the good news. It's still defying gravity. So I think that's a job well done, if I'm honest. You may not, but I do. Look, I could attack that with some carpet solution, upholstery solution, and a wet and dry vac. Clean it all up and it'd look dandy, but then it would probably fall apart again and be drooping on my head. I don't want that. So I may get brave with it in a while, but for now, that will do. One thing I really have to do though is clean up all of these little glue stains that are on the plastic. There's quite a few of them as you look around the car, and I got to clean them off the sun visor as well, because that is very ugly and still quite sticky, as you can hear. Some more up there, which is a bit annoying. I've just attacked this sun visor with my first attempt with the magical K2 Poverty WD-40, and it seems to have worked a treat there, doesn't it? So yeah, I think this is the stuff to use. Oh, K-Series warmth, absolutely magnificent. It's been a couple of months since I did the headlining job, and can you believe it? It continues to defy gravity. Look at that. Still looks horrible. There's still some sticky bits. Looks like somebody's vomited on it, which isn't nice. But it's still defying gravity, and it's all thanks to this stuff. That's what you need. Bargain basement, heavy-duty adhesive spray. There we are. Picked it up for a couple of quid a couple of years back, and it's done the trick. So it's all glued along here where this light is, and over the other side, and here directly in front of me and above my head and around the front, and it's all still holding. I can't quite believe it. I keep getting into the car every day thinking, oh, it's going to have drooped today, but it hasn't. Haven't done the back, as you can see. That's still quite airy and floaty, but I'm not going to go near that until I have to, because that looks like a world of pain. I'd have to cut holes in it, scrape all the old foam and all that rubbish that you saw previously off it, and no thanks, just no. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. There's a little bit actually here, which you can't see on the camera, but I'll show you now with a shot. And that needs doing as well. That's going to be quite awkward to get to with the angle of the seats and trying to scrape it all off and glue it and all that. But I mean, it's not causing a big issue at the moment, so I'll just gloss over that and pretend it doesn't exist. It all seems fine on this side here, thankfully. So yeah, no, we're all good. I mean, I hate looking at it because it looked horrible. It doesn't look good at all, but it's not drooping on my head, sorry, like it was earlier on. So I think that is a job well done. Thank you for watching. There'll be plenty more Rover Streetwise content coming up on the channel over the coming weeks. and some on the 306 and the Disastra as well. So I'd like to say a big thanks to all the subscribers, everybody who comments and, you know, who just watches the videos. You can follow us on Twitter and on Instagram as well, or you can subscribe to us on Patreon, where you get behind the scenes access, early access and shout outs as well. So yeah, thanks very much, and there'll be more Streetwise content coming shortly.